Oh, hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living coming to you from Alabama today. Yeah, I got in yesterday, had a good travel day. Good travel day because I've learned now I drink lots of water. Basically, that's all I rock on is when I'm traveling. I've gotten lazy. I don't really feel like taking fruit. I used to take bananas in bags, but my hands were always dirty, so I just had a nice big bag of pumpkin seeds yesterday, but didn't want to eat a ton of them because, you know, I think, I ate maybe 3 bananas early yesterday morning before I went to the airport and just drank water all day and just, you know, kind of nibbled on the pumpkin seeds throughout the day just so I wouldn't be, you know, really hungry. Oh, nice little thing. I had this young lady sit next to me yesterday on the plane. She was in the middle seat. Real slim young lady, very petite. And, you know, I had my headphones in the whole time. She was doing her thing, I was doing my thing. And they came by giving food. You know, they don't give you meals. Well, yeah, they did. They had a nasty little sandwich on there, but they had like some different things. And she asked them. She asked, actually, I heard her say, "Oh, I'm vegetarian. Do you have a or I don't know if she said she was vegetarian or she was asking for a vegetarian sandwich. I think she said she was vegetarian. And they said, well, sorry, you know, you have to kind of pre-order that or let them know ahead of time. So, you know, a couple seconds later, I did pull one of my earbuds out and I said, hey, I got a big bag. I said, I'm vegan and I've got a big bag of pumpkin seeds there. And I said, feel free to help yourself. So she was nice. She had a few. We didn't really engage all that much. She kind of, you know, was sleeping, doing her thing, and I was doing mine. But it was nice, you know, nice to have somebody similar sitting right next to me. Yeah, got in last night and I resisted the urge to get on the scale at night. Well, I came in and I ate last night, so I said, okay, I'll just start off on Thursday morning. So hopped on the scale this morning, and not a lot. Maybe had put on, I can't really even remember because I didn't write it down. I just kind of know about where I am. But I think, if I remember right, that I've gained like a couple of pounds from when I arrived here the last time. The last time I'd gotten here, I'd gone through a couple of periods where just got busy and I don't get all my calories in every day, and I was like, I think I was down a couple of pounds the last trip, so I'm you know, not a lot, but I've gained a whole 2 pounds maybe since I've been gone in 3 months. And it just got me to thinking, you know, this raw vegan lifestyle really is, especially for me, it's a license to eat. I just feel like I'm constantly eating. I can eat as much as I want. As soon as hunger hits, or even before hunger hits sometime, you know, if I just know I need to be having a smoothie, I have a smoothie, but I don't have to hold myself back any. And, you know, that was the big problem I made in the first part of this lifestyle when I first came to it, is I just, you know, wasn't used to it yet. Every time you get healthier, every time you try to lose weight, you eat less. You're supposed to eat less. That's the logic. That's what you do. So, you know, that was still in my head. And I hadn't started, you know, I hadn't really started networking with people and watching anybody that told me I shouldn't be calorie restricting. And like I said, I wasn't really restricting. I never was hungry, but I wasn't eating enough food. So, you know, got crazy skinny, as I've told you guys many times. And it's been tough. Now, just so you think, like, I think sometimes it's like I watch other people's videos out there. I see people that have been, they're having some success on this lifestyle. And I think, you know, we don't all know each other. We just know what we see on the camera, what we see from posts and stuff on the internet. So a lot of times without knowing that background, it's just, I think some people think, well, they're the lucky few or whatever, or maybe, oh, that person, you know, a lot of times it's just like, well, that person's they've probably always been skinny or been thin. And I was just, last night and this morning, I was playing around a little bit, going through some old stuff of mine and looking at old photos. I wish, you know, I'm an old dude, so some of the periods of my life, I wish it had been like now where we always had a camera around, which we didn't. So I'd have more photos to actually look at myself from different time periods, because some of the time periods I kind of know about where I was, but I don't know I don't remember exactly how big or whatever. But anyway, I looked at some photos. I shared one on Instagram this morning that was a real throwback photo. I was about, I don't know, I was still in university, still in college, so that's been 32, that's been not quite 30 years, but about 28 years or so. And I was a big old boy in this one. I was, I'd say in this photo, I was about 225. And then I saw another photo from a trip I took to Mexico while I was in college with some people, and I think in that one I was probably closer, maybe closer to my heaviest weight, like, which was about 230, 245. Now, if I haven't told you before, that wasn't, you know, it's not like I was this big, huge, fat dude. I'm 6'2", so, and I was in the gym a lot. You know, didn't know a lot about what I was doing with nutrition in college, and when I was in college, it was just all about going into the gym, pump hard. Didn't even use good form, you know, a lot of that, some of that stuff, arching your back when you're bench pressing, but I'd kind of worked that out. I had fairly decent form, but it wasn't perfect. And it was just about hoisting as heavy a weights as possible and just eating like a maniac, because even though I went to the gym a lot, you know, I could go to the gym 5 days a week, but then go out some night and drink 3 6-packs, case of beer, and then eat a bunch of garbage. I mean, I remember going out and drinking and coming home from a night of drinking and going to the A&P, the grocery store across from where I live, and getting like 2 pounds of steak and eating, or going to the Shoney's buffet and eating, I don't even know how much ungodly food of just like eggs, biscuits, sausage, all the nastiest stuff. Almost makes me barf to think about it now. So I was a big old boy back then, but I wasn't, you know, even at 245, I guess the best way to describe me, I wasn't fat. You know, I didn't have like a big gut out to here. I was soft in the middle. I wasn't solid. You didn't see abs or anything. But I probably looked like a small, if you know anything about American football, I probably looked like a small, not maybe small, but about a college, the size of a linebacker in college football. I was big. I mean, I had big old arms. I'm looking at these little toothpicks now as compared to those big old arms this morning. And, you know, broad chest. I mean, at one time I almost wore a size 50 jacket. And yeah, I was just a big, burly guy. So, oh, and I was fat as a kid. So I, you know, it's not like I've been this lean or skinny guy my whole life, or for even a big part of my life. Hold on one second. God. Sorry about that. It's actually a little funny, but it's sometimes kind of spooky. I swear to you, sometimes if I'm going to do a video outside, even back in Costa Rica, no matter where I am, it's like the universe is telling me, it could be quiet like the apocalypse. I go outside to make a video, something starts happening. That was just a UPS truck that came up. My mom doesn't, I don't know why. They were for across the street, thought it could have been me. But yeah, what I was getting back to is, so I've not been by any means, so it's not like, you know, I know everybody's body chemistry is the same, and I don't know why. I'm just kind of giving you a little more background here. But I come from, my mother was overweight. My mother was probably right around 200 pounds at some point, at about 5'7" or so. Now, she lost weight later in life, you know, just because of medical problems, and she did do the diet thing, but she's kept it off, and she's getting up there now. So my mother was overweight. I was a fat kid. I mean, I wasn't just I was a fat little roly-poly. Did lose weight about the 7th grade or so. It was just kind of always that, you know, didn't know how to eat properly. And then when I, you know, got into weightlifting in high school, and then you just lifted weights and ate as much as you could, and then just grew throughout college, and, you know, I was pretty good size, like I said. And even, okay, when I got out of college, I didn't ever lose a big chunk at one time. I kind of went from 245 down to about 225, stayed there for a while, and then something would happen. Remember, I got down to the 215, 210 range. And then, you know, I got below 200 for the first time. The first time I went below 200, I felt even kind of weird. But I was still pretty big, muscular at the time, so I was a big old boy even at 200. And then years on, you know, even when I started this back in, or when I started losing weight back in January of 2012, I'm guesstimating from the way I looked, I was about 210 pounds there. So I've always been, you know, kind of heavy, or trying to lose that weight. And, you know, once I got into the raw vegan thing, it was like the weight just started dropping off. And I've just never had, I mean, I don't know. Maybe something, hope it doesn't, but will go wacky and all of a sudden I'll start gaining weight someday, or my body will change. But over this almost 3 years on this journey, I've actually worked to gain a little weight. It's and not a lot. Every time I mention that, I think people they're like, oh, this or that, or you don't need to carry all this, or you don't need to be all that. I'm not talking about blowing up, getting swole like a bodybuilder or anything. I'm just talking about putting on a few extra pounds, being a little bit more solid. Because, you know, when you're super, super lean, I mean, I'm 6'2", and I'm probably, what did I weigh this morning? I weighed 155 pounds. Okay, that's pretty lightweight for my height. Now, that's okay for right now. I don't look too bad. I mean, I'm not like, you know, ridiculous scrawny, but, you know, as you get older, and I'm 51 now, I just think, like, you know, it makes you a little bit more frail as you age. And I'm thinking down the road. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking to gain huge amounts of weight. If I could solid 10 pounds, and hey, I'll keep working on it. I don't even care if it takes me 2 or 3 years to get there. That's just kind of my goal, is to get to about 10 pounds heavier than I am right now. About 165 at my height, I'd still be super lean. Look at the weight, look at, you know, the recommended weights, or the average, you know, whatever it is they call it for a guy that's 6'2". But anyway, like for most people, I was talking to a friend online the other day that's trying to lose weight the conventional way, and I just basically told her, I don't preach to people, I don't bug people. I just told her that, you know, when you're ready to really do something to lose some weight, talk to me, because she's the wife of my oldest friend in the world. And I told her, I said, you know, when you get really ready to do this and stop screwing around with the typical, you know, yeah, okay, I got a little heavy over the holidays, I'm going to lose, and and you never really lose. I said, talk to me. And, you know, not because I'm your expert, I'm your coach. I said, I will give you some directions to go in. I'll show you some people to watch. I'll send you some resources. But it really is. I mean, being on this raw vegan lifestyle is just, it really is a license to eat. And it's cool, because I always hated that before, and it was almost like I was a clock watcher. I could, you know, I think anytime I've ever dieted or whatever, you know, you eat, and then in my head I'm almost like, okay, when can I eat again? And then I'm starting to watch the clock. As I'm doing this video, I'll have to see when I get inside. I hope it's pretty breezy out here, but I hope from the direction of the camera that's not coming across on the video. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's just nice, because I was always watching the clock thinking like, okay, it's 9:30 now, I can eat about 11:30, so hang in there. And you're constantly looking at your watch, you know, what time is it, what time is it? Well, no more. If I'm hungry, I eat. You know, I'll chow down on bananas, make a smoothie. I don't eat a lot after dinner. That's the one little spot, like, that's the only time I kind of deny myself every once in a while if I do for some reason get hungry again. Sometimes I'll make a big salad, and maybe an hour, 2 hours later, I am just a little bit peckish, a little bit hungry. And it probably wouldn't kill me. I mean, the salad's probably had enough time to go down, but I just don't really like to go to bed with putting fruit on. I try to get through my day on fruit, mostly fruit and greens, and then at night I have a big salad, have a little bit of more fat. I do my chia seeds and hemp seeds during the day. So that's about the only time. But then even sometimes now, if I eat dinner early, like 5-ish or so, and it's really had time to get into me, then I will have some bananas or something sweet afterwards. But yeah, this is a lifestyle of never being hungry. That's the best way I can sum it up right there. It's a lifestyle of never being hungry. Whether you're fully raw, whether you're high raw, somebody will tell me they always do. Fully raw vegan diet isn't practical, it's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. You make your decisions for yourself. But all I know is, and hey, even if you're not going to be fully raw forever, but you may have some pounds to lose. I don't know. I don't know all this chemistry. You guys know I'm not a science guy. I'm just kind of a crazy, senile little dude. I just kind of know what works for me, what has worked for me, and you could be totally different. But it's definitely worth a shot. You know, I love it. I don't see changing very much. I eat my cooked food every now and then. I'm going to eat some cooked food on this trip. But the raw vegan thing, you can totally eat as much as you want. And I think pretty much you can do the same on the raw to 4 thing if you're just, you know, if you're keeping things, if you're keeping that fat low, you know. And I did that for a while too when I was still eating a fair amount of cooked food. I was combining the starches and the fats a lot, you know. I was having olive oil on my potatoes and stuff. And that's how I did, you know, when I panicked one time and I got to my super low weight, I just started mowing down potatoes and olive oil, because I'm like, well, I'm eating vegan. and it's a good fat. It's not hurting me. And I did kind of put a little bit of weight on, not a lot, but you know, I got that like 8 or 10 pounds back rather quickly. But I was a little bit softer then in the middle. Since then I've kind of balanced out a little bit. But anyhow, just wanted to come to you guys today. I had a couple of days off from the videos, and just wanted to check in, see how you guys are doing. I'm gonna try to do as many videos as outside as possible. I know this is just against my house. I'm going to go down to the park a couple of days. I've done some videos in the past from the park. I'll try to see what I can get out and do. I thought it was going to be a little bit nicer, but I kind of seem to have missed the peak of the blooming flowers here. Like, we have azaleas in this part of the country, and they open up, but they're kind of starting to, they're not quite as brilliant as they were. From what I'm hearing, I think last week was the peak. Maybe I'll find some dogwoods blooming, but I'm definitely going to get down in the park. I'll try to get down to the creek a time or two, and I'll get outside and mix it up a little bit, because I know it gets boring sometimes. Sometimes I just simply do it in Costa Rica because it's just a managed situation for me to be able to do it in my house. I'm not shy around people, but I really don't like distractions. You know, when you get old and senile, something distracts you and you can forget what you're going to say. But anyhow, checking in. Hope you guys like this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. Peace.